Hey everybody, this is Josh with the Synchronized Universe coming at you with my new equipment, somewhat new. Been having a lot of technical difficulties with all this nonsense. Got a refurbished PC, didn't end up working, so I sent it back. Now I got a new one. It's been kind of a painful ride. That's why I've been like, I don't know, about a dang near a month now absence because of all that nonsense. But I had to jump on today, even though it's close to the end of the night. I needed to vent, get out some stuff off my chest here. For those that don't know me, it's about 9 years ago, me and my wife lost a baby girl named KayLynne Robin. And honestly, for anybody who's experienced, terrible loss in their lives, it changes you. It changes you, changes everything about your life. There's no pain that could compare to that. It was, just complete suffering when it happened. And now it's 9 years ago. It seems like a blur. Everything does. And the fact is, like, it completely changed the way I think about existence as a whole. That's kind of what death does. You're not supposed to outlive your children. That's just a fact. And so yeah, I just wanted to get on and talk about, because I mean that one event has shaped, you know, a a huge portion of my life, to where I can't even begin to explain. It's everything. Like, honestly, after that happened, I was already an alcoholic, but I dove deep into, freaking deep into the bottle, deep into any kind of pill I could get my hands on. And it just went down, spiraling from there. And, shortly after it happened, I was already kind of depressed most of the time. And, that kind of was the kicker, you know what I mean? I started getting worse and worse, and I decided I needed to go seek help. And this is, you know, that path seeking help is what got me the viewpoint that I have now on medications and the different stuff, because I've talked to tons of people, I've been to therapy, I've tried all kinds of different medications, and you know, it does work, it can help you, but it also will create you, to me, makes you a zombie. And most people who have been on mental health meds understand that fact for sure. Is, you end up not feeling anything at all. And what that did, is made it seem like I didn't care, because I was on so much drugs at the time, so much medication, not just the illegal kind, that it just seemed like I didn't care, right? But that's kind of like what men do when they experience a lot of pain, is they're taught to shove it down and be strong and all that stuff, and time heals you. And again, I'm going to be the first one to tell you right now that whoever told you that time heals anything is an idiot. Time heals nothing. Time heals no man. Time heals no woman. You just learn to live with the pain. That pain never goes away. It manifests and does wreaks havoc on your body. You create an entire world around that pain, and that world isn't real. That's something that you need to get out of your head. Like, that whole story about time healing is a lie. But, like, this one event has shaped so much in my life that it's hard to believe, man. I do think about her less, but I mean, it doesn't go very long without me thinking about my baby girl. Like, she died at 4 days old, and it just sucks, man. And now it's been 9 years. It's wild. And we actually lived in Missouri at the time when all this happened, and like, basically woke up in the middle of the night. Or no, it was early in the morning. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but it was I don't really want to describe it, but in a nutshell, man, like, it was something I play over and over in my head every time I think about it and have thought about it, what I could have done differently. Maybe I could have saved her if I'd have been quicker. Maybe I would have, anything. Maybe there's so many things that go through one's head. But, one day you kind of have to reach a point in your life where you're not going to allow something that happened a long time ago to destroy anything that can happen in your future. And that's part of the other reason why I wanted to get on here, is because that's important. Your past can absolutely destroy your future or any chance you have of doing anything if you allow it. And the only way to do it, man, is to keep going forward. We end up getting stagnant. We end up getting, like complacent and get back into old habits. And the fact is, you got to find something that keeps propelling you forward, whether it be a new source of information, whether it be a new book, whether it be a better relationship with God, whatever you want to do, you have to do something that propels you forward. Like, it's been I've been talking to various people now, and got various new friends, and I I analyze everybody. I analyze every single person I talk to. I take in all the information. I take in their past. I take in, what they tell me, and trying to get an idea of how I could possibly help somebody come to a conclusion. You know what I mean? And with spirituality and God type subjects, like people tend to have a real mystical experience right when they first find God or find spirituality. And then slowly but surely it ends up fading. And then they go back into old habits and all that kind of stuff. And that's because throughout your experience with religion or with spirituality, things are gonna happen in your life that are going to test that. They're going to test your worldview. And your worldview is that, when you become essentially awakened or spiritually inclined, it changes your worldview. And you start to experience all these bad things eventually, because there's no one that gets around that. It's gonna happen. It starts to, dampen that worldview, and you start to be like, oh my gosh, well, if God is this, then why is this happening to me? And the fact is that God is not here to prevent the bad things. The nature of the universe is chaos. Bad things are going to happen regardless. God does not stop bad things. God is absolutely everything. That's the key here, my friends. God didn't just create everything, God actually is everything. Everything is God. I don't know how else to explain it. That's the law of one. That's the series I've been obsessed with talks about that. And that's just a fact. You have to understand that in the grand scheme of things, like things are going to happen, and that shouldn't, you know, dampen your views on spirituality or God. That should bring you stronger, start to question even more, start to read more books about it, start to develop these spiritual habits even more, and that'll help you. Um, that's the things that give me strength. People always ask me how I get through the day or how I, do this, because I mean, I've experienced so much negativity in my life, and the way I do it is doing stuff like this. I get through it by talking to people about their issues, by talking about spirituality, by talking about God. And the fact is, the more I talk about God and spiritual subjects, the happier I am. And the more I want to help people be happy. I'm not here to tell you who to believe in. I'm here to tell you that there is something out there that can help you. There's information, there's books, there's anything. But the answer is not to crawl into a drug or crawl into a bottle or, you know, hide behind that freaking nonsense. You have to do something different for yourself, be something different for yourself. Especially if you got kids and stuff like that, you can't do it, man. You got to step up, get outside, do something different with your life. And, I'm thankful for anybody who's taken the time to listen to me on here, listening to me ramble. I'm trying hard not to get emotional right now. And it's the fact is, man, it's been a wild, wild ride these past 9 years. And even if I tried to begin to explain to most people would not even believe me, because they know, they talk to me and they're like, this is not you. And that's a key point. Okay. Like, the person that you are right now, it doesn't matter who you were 10 years ago. It doesn't matter who you were 5 years ago or even 6 months ago. What matters is the person that you choose to be right now. Your past does not define you. You are defined by your here and now. This is Josh with the Synchronized Universe podcast. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Many blessings.